My earliest sports memory was monkey bars. Like that stuff is serious stamina and yeah, like serious physical activity. But the monkey bars was in Canada, and we moved to Canada when I was in pre-K to first grade, and then we moved back to Hong Kong, and I was there from second grade to eighth grade. In terms of, say, joining a sports team or doing more school activities related to sports, I actually had an art teacher who encouraged me to sign up for long distance running because we didn't have a lot of people representing the school. So they're just trying to get as many people into the team as possible. And it was a really good experience because I never felt like I wasn't good at it. It was something I was learning to do. And she was very encouraging. She'd run with me, she'd teach me how to do it. In Hong Kong, it was a really small school. I remember our class was like 15 people. At one point, it was 11 people in the class. So coming to Canada, it was a lot bigger. In a way, I felt like it was a culture shock, just like high school culture shock, because the classes were a lot bigger and you're moving around a lot more. So for every class you take, you have different people in your class. And I felt like I had trouble being involved with the community, or like being like hanging out with people or getting to know people, because most of the time these kids already grew up together, and then all of a sudden there's this new person. I don't know them. So I struggled with that. I didn't enjoy it when I first came here. I think afterwards I met a few friends there. The following year I was invited to join basketball, so I gave that a try. At the tryout, I wasn't hoping to get in. Like I'm not that competitive, but I thought, hey, I want to see where I'm at. If I can play, then I'll just practice after school, right? If I get on the team. That experience was the first time I realized someone, how do I say it? Like it felt dry. So I wasn't good, and I felt like the coach completely ignored me. Like I wasn't there. Like I did my layups, I did my dribbles, I scored or tried. But I think he knew I couldn't make the team. So I don't know what to make of that experience. It just felt like it wasn't a great experience, but it wasn't bad. But that was my first time feeling like, oh, sometimes people, in a way, they kind of don't like what you do. Because my friends were, when we were trying on, my friends were like, don't worry, you got it, and like they cheer you on when you're trying out, even if you miss. But I guess it was my first time getting to know the different sides of more people, if that made sense. It was very different from my art teacher. Like my art teacher was like, you can do it. Like I was always the last one when we did long distance, but she would run with me and she would tell me, oh, this is how you can run faster, keep swinging your arms. And like she was showing me how to do it, and I could do it because she showed me. But I felt like with the basketball tryout, I think the expectation was you already had the skill. I didn't exactly have the skills, but also didn't feel like I couldn't learn it. So yeah, after like a long time, I decided I need to go snowboarding, because in grade 9 when I first moved here, we went on a ski trip, and I went skiing because I've done it once before. But then I saw some of my classmates snowboarding, and I thought it looked so cool. I gotta do this. And I went once again when I was 18, but I didn't learn anything with that one time session. So I always felt like I wanted to do it, but I couldn't do it. But I think as you get older, you realize you can't put things off because you're scared. How do I say this? For myself, I always put things off because I felt like I wasn't good enough, or someone said a comment and I couldn't get approval, or someone says you probably can't do it, so I don't know how to do it. Like I couldn't even get over the fact that they think I can't, because I think I can't. And then I decided I'm not going to feel bad about myself for being myself, for doing something I wanted to do. I wasn't out there to hurt anyone. I wasn't out there to make other people feel bad. It wasn't an evil intention. So I just decided, okay, I need to do the things I like. And on the top of my list was snowboarding. And it took a lot of courage because I was scared. Like I always felt so stupid. This is a reoccurring theme, but I think I was just really afraid of what people thought of me. So where are we? So I decided to go snowboarding. The first time was really scary, and then like I did it again this past winter, and I committed to it, and it was so much better. Like I was able to do it. Took me 5 visits to finally get it. And every visit was like 4 to 5 hours. So the first 3 visits, it was not good. Like I remember by my second session, I felt like maybe I won't ever be able to figure this out. But it's okay. I still have next winter. Because the season was ending and I was only going not too often. I mean, occasionally. So yeah, there were times I felt like I couldn't do this. There was this little kid, like these 6-year little kids, and they're just like cutting down the slope and you're tumbling and falling and you don't know why. I remember I was on the bunny hill and this little kid was with his dad. He's snowboarding. As he was going downhill, he's telling me, "You got a heel toe. You got a heel toe. We can't do that." So I remember I wasn't embarrassed, but I was at that point. I'm like, if a little kid can do it, there's no reason I can't do it. Like, how do you adopt a child's mentality to not care and just focus on doing? So the first few times I did feel like it wasn't gonna happen, but I saw my progress. For the first time, I could turn right, I could go forward, and then the next session I could go left. And then you slowly realize I can actually do both. And I think it was those little improvements that I saw, like figuring out one thing each time, that helped me continue. And I was starting to enjoy, like every time I got to the bottom, I felt like, oh, I accomplished something. I need to get back up now. Just getting on that chairlift was terrifying. There's a moment of regret when the bar comes down and you're like, oh, I'm going up and I can't get off. And I remember thinking, like, I'm gonna fall when I get off the chairlift. And there's that point where they're telling you gotta lift the bar up. I got so terrified. I ended up having to tell myself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And then I get off the chairlift, and I tumble down. And then you just get back up right away because there are people behind you. And I think after a few times, I felt comfortable. And I accepted the fact that tumbling is just my thing. Like, I'm going to tumble at the top and I just need to get back up and get out of people's way. But once you start sloping down or like going down the hill, it doesn't even matter because that was such a short time. And I think, say with me working on my designs, I feel like design is a very personal thing because you're putting your ideas out there. You're putting part of your identity out into public and some people won't like it. And I think back then, my fear of being judged or not pleasing someone, people not liking it, has stopped me from putting my designs out there. And I think what happened was after learning how to snowboard and finding complete joy in learning it, overcoming those little challenges each time, I realized, why am I not putting up my designs out there? Like, there are people who aren't gonna like it. Yeah, it's hard, but like, I can do it. I can just get over that initial fear. Like, I really enjoy the design process. And for me, that process is like going down the hill. Like, you overcome the first step of worrying, like what's going to happen, the big picture, the end result. And then you just enjoy the process of going down the hill, designing the product, problem solving. I think with any sport, when you're trying something new, obviously it's great to have friends with you to encourage you along the way. But if you are doing a solo sport like snowboarding, you learn to build a lot of courage in yourself, and you learn to be okay with yourself, and you learn to get out of your head because you have to. And you're gonna realize that as you're doing stuff, you're in the moment doing it, none of those lies that come in your head telling you that you suck will be able to invade you. So I think it's very like it's worth learning how to do a individual sport for anyone. It's not about how good you are, but that kind of mentality is so helpful in your daily life. Like you just focus on what you can do, work on what you're not great at, and then have fun with it, because with any sport you're going to see immediate progress. So I would encourage everyone to try out a solo sport. Team sports are great, but a solo sport is good with its like in its own way too.